what, honey?
What's hoodie?
Yeah.
I want that. Yummy. I want it.
Not right now. Wait, I'm gonna do my class. I need you to go watch a show in your room. Hello, hello. Just getting all the stuff out. Okay. So today we are going to start working on some of our plants. I'm trying to remember what color I planned on for this. Hang on. All right. All right, so we are going to work with DMC 3345. The little terrariums are looking so cute. Thanks, Shelly. I'm excited. I am really liking them. I think they're going to be so cute when they're all done. Okay, so we are going to use 3345. We're going to start up here and do this one. And then if we have time, we will start working on this one. But I think that this one will take us most of the 30 minutes. So we are going to learn a new stitch. New to this stitch along, not new if you've done other stitch alongs with me. But okay, so 3345 today. I have already separated my threads. We are just going to use 3 strands today. We don't want to get this too bulky because we're going to also add some French knots to it. So let's get going. I'm going to put my 3 strands here in my needle. Maybe, there we go. Okay. So what we're going to do first is a whipped back stitch for the stems, and then we're going to go back and add some French knots. So let's zoom. Let me just scoot this a little closer to me. Okay. So with a whipped back stitch, we're going to go stitch it one way and then whip it the other way. So I like to start where these are all going to start down here. And so if we start there, then we don't have, if we start down here, then we have to go like this and then our thread comes here and it's just kind of a mess. So we are going to start here and work our way through these little stems. Okay, so we're going to do smaller back stitches. So a back stitch, we just go from the first up a stitch and then we're going to go back a stitch. So we're going to go here. We want this stitch to be the same as this stitch. So try and pay attention to how long your stitches are. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come up and stitch back. I think we're going to fit 2 more in there. I'm really close to this hoop stand. Okay, so once we have our back stitch in there, we're going to go back and whip it. So we're going to go up in this same hole that we went up the first time. And then we're going to start weaving under our stitches. So whatever way you want to choose, I don't care if you go right to left or left to right, it's going to turn out the same. So we're just going to go under that stitch And then we're gonna do it the same way. You're just gonna go the same way under your stitches every time. So right to left or left to right, doesn't matter, but just keep going the same way. So then it just twists around those threads. And it kind of just smooths out our stitches and gives us a little bit more of like a 3D effect. It just like lifts that up just a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna go back down in that same hole that we came up in. You've got a knot there, so just be aware before you get a little crazy, okay? And then we're gonna do this next side. Not next side, this next little stem. And we're gonna do that for all of these stems. This one's a little bit curved. I really like whipped backstitch for curved lines, for straight lines, because when you whip it, it helps. I'm gonna go left to right this time, but it really just smooths out that stitch, that back stitch. So if it's a little uneven, it's not a big deal. Oh, I wish I had gone right to left. That was a bad choice. Sorry, I gotta concentrate on this. 1 second. I don't like to weave into other stitches. It creates kind of an issue. And trying to do it with my left hand. Okay, goodness, I'm switching sides. It'll just won't be quite as smooth, but I'm not going to be super worried about that because that was too hard. So you can kind of see where it like bubbled out a little. That's fine though. Okay, we've got 3 more. So this one's going to be kind of over the top of these. I'll go down here. And then we have to use our imagination a little bit once we get onto our other stitches, because we're stitching over top of these here. So just try to keep that in the right shape that you want it. You won't really see what's under. I mean, if you don't stay right on the pattern, it's not going to matter because you're not going to really see it. But you're not going to see the pattern under. So just put that where you want to. My stitches got a little bit big there. Okay, so now I'm going to come back up and whip this. Now we're on top of other stitches, so really be careful before you start like pulling this too much, because you want to make sure you're not grabbing a bunch of other threads. And then same with right here, we're right by that other. So just be conscious of that while you're weaving around. Okay. All right, our next one starts over here. I think I'm just going to start here though. I'm not going to have this one start down here because it's getting a little bit blocky, or it's getting a little bit full down here. So I'm just going to start this one right here. Bulky. Bulky was the word I was going for instead of blocky. This is just going to be hanging outside our little terrarium. Okay, so one thing I do with Backstitch, because I just like to save a little bit of thread. So I did this one backwards and then this one I do forwards. It just saves the tiniest bit of thread, but sometimes it matters if you're playing thread chicken, if you're low on thread or something. The only thing that matters is at the end, if you're gonna do this, just make sure when you're doing a whipped backstitch that you pay attention and do a backstitch at the end. Because if you go and do this forward stitch like this and then go down, you can't come back up in that same hole, which you're gonna want to do your whipped backstitch. So just throwing that out there. If you're gonna try and do something different, just pay attention to the end. So I've got one more, so that last one will be a backstitch. And then we can whip it. Whoop. I like to just make sure I pulled it snug so that there's not like any loose, unless that's the look you're going for. No loose pieces. Hang on, it's too close to the hoop stand. I gotta get it out. Okay, then go down to end it. All right, let me put this back. Hoop stands are great, but they also kind of get in the way sometimes. Okay, we've got one more. So this one was starting down here. I didn't draw it very well. So I'm just gonna make it up a little bit as I go. So I'm just gonna fill in this space a little bit. And then I'll move down. I wanted two coming off out of the terrarium. Now that I'm thinking about it, this one might have been better to do after we did the frame, but that's okay. Oh, my stitches got a little bit bigger as I moved down. I just realized I drew this and that was not how the pattern went, but whatever your pattern is drawn on there, these are leaves. They don't have to all be the same. All right, these ones. Hold on, my thread's all twisted. These ones are the tricky ones because they are on the other threads. All right, a couple more. Ouch. Oh, darn it. My hoop stand is in the way again. Get that last one. All right. Okay. We've got the base done. Now we can add some cute little French knots. Okay. I tried to space them well on the pattern. Because they're so small, we've got 3 strands in here. I would say do a single wrap or a double wrap, but I would not do a triple. I think that a triple will be too big. You're obviously welcome to do whatever you want, but I am just going to do, I think just let's see. Let me try a double and see what it looks like. So if you put this down, you can kind of just look and see, okay, that looks like it will be good. So I did a double wrap. And then we're just gonna do all more French knots. So hopefully you're not sick of them yet from yesterday. I'm gonna sometimes go down into my threads of this stem so that they're like nice and connected. And then sometimes I can do them just off to the side. Kind of give it that like whimsical feel. So you could also do colonial knots here if you're not loving the French knots, or if you did all French knots yesterday and you're wanting to do something different today. After I finish this piece of thread, I will do some colonial knots. Okay, let me tie this off and grab a new piece of thread. Okay. Got my 3 strands. Just making a knot at the end. Okay. So, Colonial Knots. Those are a little bit bigger, but they'll still totally work. What, honey?
Mom?
What, Roman?
Why it team?
Okay, I need you to go into your room with that.
Mom, why a pie?
Spider-Man?
No, pie.
Okay. Go in your room, please.
That's who I Spider-Man. That is.
We're super into Spider-Man right now.
How are you? Mom, that way Spider-Man.
Okay,
Like
sweetie.
pie.
Roman? Let's see. It's got me all... I have to really think about colonial knots. They do not come naturally to me. Like I really have to focus. Because we got to do the backwards C and over the top. Ah. Yeah, that takes a lot of concentration. Does anyone else? Who else is with me? Does anyone else prefer French knots? Does anyone prefer colonial knots? I do like that they're more uniformed. Like, I feel like they all look the same. Where French knots, I don't feel like always all look the same. Done. But that's why if I'm going to do something like this and fill all this in, I do French knots because I find them to be a lot faster. Okay, we're going to do one more. I still haven't been able to master colonial knots. They don't make sense to me. I know, they're funky. They definitely take some finagling. So you do the backwards C and you loop your thread like that, and then over the top, infinity sign, and then pull it down. Whoop. And if I mess up, I have to completely take them out. I can't just like start off where I ended. Like, I have to completely backtrack. It's good though. It's good for me to do them once in a while. So I'm just working my way. I try and pay attention to where I need to put some knots. So like I can start up here and go all the way down and then go all the way back up. And I don't have like threads running all over the back. So I kind of try and pay attention to things like that. Like where am I starting? Where am I ending? What needs to go next? Kind of an idea. So that I can keep things moving well. Without a ton of mess on the back. Which, I mean, I'm all for the mess. Like, if that, it's not a big deal. I don't mind a messy back. But I do hate when I feel like I've wasted a lot of thread for no reason. So I don't know. I'm just a little bit conscious of that. This is one of my favorite plants. I think it's just so cute. all these little French knots on these little curvy branches. If I could keep plants alive, this is what I would have in my house. Right now, I am working on keeping outdoor plants alive, though. Last year for my birthday's in June, and my husband got me 2 lavender plants, and I killed one. And the other one looks like it is still alive. I'm hoping it'll come back after the winter, but we will find out here in the next few weeks. And I want to try and grow some tomatoes this year because homegrown tomatoes are way better than store-bought ones. So I'm gonna need to grow some tomatoes. Those are the 2 things on my list this year. Get my lavender to come back and tomatoes. My thumb is black, but my stitching fingers are golden. I kill all my plants by accident. I do too. I am the worst at keeping plants alive. I either overwater or underwater or just quit watering altogether. I've got this poinsettia from Christmas that is still alive. I think because I just never water it, it just must not need water because it rarely gets watered and it is just still alive. I have no idea why. Okay. That is done. Yay! So cute! Okay, let me tie this off. And oh my goodness. I just am so excited. These are going to be so cute. Okay, we are going to call it for today. It is almost 10:30. Well, let's see, because we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants. And we have 7 days? Friday. Oh, we only have 6 days. Okay, let's do one more real quick. Because we're going to do a whipped backstitch for this one as well. Which I know I drew this a little bit differently than it is on the pattern. So try not to worry about that too much. Okay, I don't remember what color though. I think, yeah, the 470, which is what we used down here yesterday. Okay. So we're gonna do the whipped backstitch for that one as well. So let's just do it today. While I've gotcha, let's see, how many strands is this? Oh, this is only 2. Bummer. Okay. So I like 3 for whipped backstitch. I don't know why, it's just like my go-to. I don't feel like it's too bulky, but I feel like you can still see it. Like it's just a nice. So I've got the 470, 3 strands. Let's just do this little plant and then we will be done for the day. This one will be pretty quick. And this one, if you haven't finished your knots yet, you can wait on this one, but it should be fairly quick. So don't be stressed if you haven't got to it yet. Okay. So we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna start in the bottom and backstitch, and then we'll just whip it. Okay, I gotta have this at a better angle for myself. What? So this one's fast because really each one is only going to be like 3 or 4 stitches. and then whip it. I am going to go left to right this time because then I'm out of my French knots instead of trying to like stitch into them. I find this easy. I like whipped backstitch when I am not using a hoop stand because then I can turn my hoop the way I need it to go. But it's hard to film without a hoop stand. So you just get my awkward fingers trying to make this work. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this middle one. Because I have some that are like coming off of it. Hold on, I've got a knot. Okay, so that is what we're doing here. I think I'm just gonna finish these 2 little branches on this side and then I'll do the other side of this plant off camera because you don't really need to watch me do this. But yeah, once you get doing this, if you have questions, go ahead and message me. After I finish up here, I'm out running errands, so I might not get back to you right away, but I promise I will. If you need me, I try to be like really available during stitch along, so you can message me if you have questions. But I still have to get groceries. And we're going to Costco today, and we have to drive out of town to go to Costco. It's like a 25-minute drive, so. Small town living. We've got like Walmart and that's it. I mean, we've got like a hometown grocery store and a Kroger, but like no Target, no Costco, no Chick-fil-A. Okay. There. It's gonna be cute. Okay, so finish up that one. I will finish it off camera so that I can stop weaving with it in the hoop stand. So yeah, we did this one and this one. And tomorrow, is tomorrow Friday? Tomorrow's Friday. I can't decide what we're gonna do. I think we might do this one. I don't know. I haven't decided. One of these two probably. But anyways, all right. Well, thanks for joining in. I will be back tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and we will stitch some more plants. So thanks for joining and see you tomorrow. Bye.